keep talking about Chat GPT, and I'm here to tell you that was just the initial kind of little thimble on what's going on with AI. So AI stands for artificial intelligence. The reality is these computers basically take the mind of the entire internet, every recorded document, and assimilates information. The problem with Chat GPT, I'm not going to get into the founders and the politics and all that crap, but they limited it. And here is the severe drawback of Chat GPT is you have 2-year-old data, meaning it will not pull up information for 2021. For that, you got to pay for the premium service. Now, I think it's $20 a month, probably well worth it, but the fact that they're already swinging the sledgehammer right off the bat ain't the greatest sign. So Chat GPT also is mostly fueled off of, see, I'm not going to get into product assimilation here, but it's used by a certain type of company. I believe Microsoft's involved in it heavy like that. And the problem is a lot of that stuff sometimes can be tied to Bing. I'm not like really a Bing person. Listen, I'm not getting in the politics of Google, but the reality is Google has the most data and the most information. So ChatGPT still works very well, but it's limited, especially in wholesaling, because the most important thing we need is we need real-time data. The sooner we can get data, the sooner we can make a decision. And one of the biggest problems in our market is we depend on realtors' data that is usually dated 3, if not 6 months before. And this is a project I'm working on right now, so we can get real-time data without trying to get everything 3 months behind. So the problem is the realtors associations are always reporting stuff late because, and honestly, they just manipulate the heck out of the data. So we're going to play around with that today and show you. But here's what I want to show you. I'm going to show you something better than ChatGPT. So if you guys haven't looked it up, let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to roll it out there. It's called Bard. So if you haven't gone there, let me get it's bard.com. I should put it in the notes, but I didn't put it in here. And what I love about Bard is, number one, it's powered by Google. Like them, hate them, whatever. They filter, whatever. It's just, here's the reality of AI. And here's a little bit of pet peeve. Everybody and their mother on Facebook, Instagram is promoting, let me show you how to do AI. I've developed a company and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's ridiculous. If you think 1 or 2 or 4 individuals are going to compete with companies like Google, Microsoft, like Elon Musk companies with AI, with tons and tons of experience, with thousands of employees and hundreds of billions of dollars to play with, you're kidding yourself. Do not sign up with these services for these small-time providers. Every now and then they will have something niche, but the reality is the biggest players are fighting for this market. And it's going to wind up, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's $1 trillion grab. It is not going to be the small person that figures out AI. So if you're banking on someone who's trying to do crowdfunding or trying to raise $5 or $10 million to figure out AI, that's not even going to slightly even cover the marketing budget of what AI is going to do. So I've learned quickly with AI, I'm focusing on the big 4 powerhouses. I'm not even going to go through them, but you know who they are. That is where the bulk of the progress is going to be made in AI. All these little ones are going to get knocked off, eaten up, bought out, and it's going to be, you're not even going to recognize them. So focus on them. So I like Bard.com. That's what we're going to focus on today. Why? It's connected directly to the internet. There is no delay. And by the way, it's free. Now, I will tell you this. When you go up to sign, I would love to have you guys do this while you're on the internet right now. Go up and sign up, Bard.com. They'll put you on a waiting list. Here's the little thing is, most of the time in 15, 20 minutes, they send you an email and confirm your account, or it can take up to 4 days. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. What I like about it, it's free. It fits our free wholesaling.com mantra. And for that, I love it. So what I want to do is show you how to run through it. So I'm going to give you the bullet points. And then when I'm done with this, I'll jump my screen on Bard and we'll run through it. If you guys have questions, we can do it together. This is why I love doing lives like this, because we can actually work on problems and we can figure out how to make this work together for us better. Now, with Bard, you can pull any property data. I mean, honestly, it's getting, don't get me wrong, I still believe in using our traditional services. Data is very, very important. But specifically, when you need to pull property data, year built, stuff like that, you're getting to the point where you don't even have to enter into the county's property appraiser site. And this is going to be the future of what you see in real estate, specifically in wholesaling, is We can get everything most likely from one portal. Who's going to dominate that in the end? I don't know. So don't worry about it right now, but I'm going to show you how to do this so you can pull property data. I'm also going to show you how you can calculate repair cost for your specific area. This is dynamite for you. Now, we show you manually how to do it with charts in freewholesaling.com, and I would still rely heavily on that. But this is a tool that you can play around, because if I'm going to be doing floors in Arizona, or I want to do floors in Miami, Florida, there's a different cost structure for each market. Once you know the zip code in the city, you can easily calculate that. Some markets are absolutely insane for pricing, and some are like really cheap. This is going to help you figure that out, especially if you're going to do this virtually. And then also, we're going to find government list information, and we're going to help you pull it. So many times you guys are struggling looking on the internet, trying to find out where to get your government list, what offices to contact, what's the address, what's the phone number, and who's the person in charge. Let's show you how to use AI, specifically Bard, so you can actually pull that information and get to work on getting your list. Because if you don't have a list, you don't have anybody to contact, and it's hard to write contracts if you can't contact motivated sellers. So we always want to look on where we're going to have the most motivation and go from there. So I put it on there. Check it out. Get on there. It's free. If you have to pay, you're probably in the wrong one, and check it out with it. So let's do this. I'm going to add this to the stream. This is what it's going to look like. So hopefully you guys can see my screen. It's very similar. It'll keep a log on it. And remember, AI is all about asking the best quality questions and keep refining your questions. So it's like if you were interrogating a person, say you were chasing someone out, trying to figure if their alibi checked out. Say, John, where were you on the 5th Tuesday at 10 p.m. at night? And he gives you an answer. And then you keep deep diving and refining your search and focus on the piece of information you either think's the truth or false. And that's the same thing that basically AI works. So what I want to do is walk through several examples for you. And if you guys have a question, you can put it in the comments. I'll happily plug this in for you, and we can play around with it. So guys, pick a market and tell me which one you want to do the median price, and I will plug it in for you. So let's see here. How will this work? As far as like non-disclosure states, you're still going to have some issues with it, but I think AI is going to actually help circumvent some of that. We'll have to see a time. Remember, we're doing this in real time. So let's do, somebody put on here, let's do Miami, Florida. God knows that's going to be a high one. What is average home sales price in Miami, Florida? You just give it a second. I'm going through. The average home in Miami is $560,000 as of March 2023, up 6.7 from previous year. Median sale price $446 per square foot. So I want you to understand AI is not perfect. So if you read this sentence, it doesn't even make sense. The housing market in Miami is not very competitive, with homes receiving 2 offers on average and selling in 76 days. Maybe they're comparing it to the last like 5 years where it was highly competitive. They would get 15 offers and sell it in less than 30 days. So that can tell you that inventory is going up. But what you can do is just, you can specifically, now if I wanted to narrow this down, there's not much more to narrow it down on there. And I want to make it aware. So let's do this. I copied and pasted some of these in here for you, so I didn't have to sit there and type, so I can actually talk to you guys. Let's, instead of doing Dallas, Texas, let's do it in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, here's the deal. What do you think the least valuable zip code in Atlanta? What does that mean? I don't know. This is how you have to play around when you go in the AI. You got to have like, you got to go in with a playful mind. So right here, the least valuable zip code in Atlanta is 30310. The median home price is $60,000. So those of you that are saying, I can't find a house under $220,000, I'm giving you a shortcut here. Now, they're telling you the average income is $25,000. So if you look at those numbers, and here's what I say, which of these, let's do this, correlate the crime rates for these zip codes. So you can continue to keep asking Bard refining questions. So it's going to take those. So it's not going to let me do it, of course. Unable to help. I was only in a language model. So what I'll do is Sometimes you just copy and paste them. Copy, paste. What are the, oh, it started spitting it out. Additional details. So it was still thinking. So I'm trying to run over AI while it's typing in here. Crime at 4. I'll pick 2 of them. 30316 area. I'm sorry, not area code, zip codes. Let's see if it pops it up. So what you can do is you can keep going and going. So if you look at violent crime rate, so you can do a comparison now. So if you want to go to these zip codes, you know what you're kind of getting into. Violent crime is what we really look at, and you look at total crime, but it's pretty high for the zip code, hence the lower prices. So what I'm telling you is you just keep on asking questions like this. Now, if you ask it dumb questions, you're going to get dumb answers. I'm just going to forewarn you. So if you go over to freewholesaling.com, a lot of these questions that I'm even plugging in here, I'm playing around with you. I'm just changing them up a little bit for you so you can get an idea what's going on. So let's do this one. Let's do this. Corey wants to know. Oh, we're going to look for the past month. Let's do this for, we have 2023 and it's thinking. And remember, the more you play with this, the better the questions you're going to come up. So here's Knoxville, Tennessee. Home sales are expected to decline 10% over year. Guys, once again, it's just taking information from the internet. So you can't use this as like, this is factual stuff. Home sales are expected to decline. So you have to read it. Home sales, but home prices are expected to increase. So what does that mean? It could mean tighter inventory, less to choose from. They do higher prices, but there's less sales, maybe because the mortgage rates. Inventory is expected to remain low. Rental prices are expected to increase 4%. So obviously, we know where Corey is. You guys can do this for your own market is what I'm telling you. We're getting intel now that honestly, you would have to have a VA scrape for hours to get you this information. Now, you have to read the information and sometimes you have to proof it up. But like I could go on all day doing this stuff. So you have to keep pressing along. Let me give you a couple other examples, like different type of stuff that you can do with it. One thing that we've never, ever known as real estate investors, we never, ever know like how many rentals are in an area. So let me give you an idea. So you guys know what market I'm in. So I'll just go ahead and plug my market in because you guys always think I'm running you guys under the bus. In the Port St. Lucie, what zip code has the most rental properties? So my God, I might as well just give you my marketing sheet, but I got nothing to hide from you, so I don't care. This is how I do it. So I already knew this by heart because I've been doing this 21 years. 1,115 properties in this one zip code. Median rent's 2,400, and then it'll just keep on ripping through each one of them, what the average price on each one of them is. 3, 4, yeah. One of my favorite ones are like right in the middle. 800. I mean, guys, look at this information that you can get. It's insane what the information you can get off of this. So we talked about doing, let's do this one. Guys, give me a state you want to get some information on. Who's up next here? I'm not going to do Los Angeles because that's kind of like a killer on there. So let's do North Carolina. Let's see here. Watch this. Based on Google Maps, what areas in North Carolina are the most updated from Street View? Now, this is a more detailed question, and then it just goes on and on. And what I love about it is you can keep asking it. You put this information in a spreadsheet. Might not be able to. Let's see. You know I'm doing this live. Well, that's not the greatest spreadsheet. It's more like a pivot table. But you guys that are better with computer programming, coding, and stuff like that, it's amazing what you can do. Now, I will be honest with you, ChatGPT has built-in plugins that you can use specifically for pivot tables and spreadsheets. And if you're just specifically going to do a number, it works really well. Also, if I'm buying a home for $200,000, 5% down, mortgage rate of 6% for 30 years. What is the monthly payment? So you can do calculations on this, just typing it right in there. Watch this. Look, 1,061. So if you're doing like a creative financing deal and you're working with someone and say you wanted to do 200,000, they're going to put down 5%, you're going to do 6%, you're going to do a lot higher anyways. You can calculate a monthly thing right on your phone while you're sitting in front of people. Guys, I usually had to go in the calculator, go to like a amortization. Give me the amortization schedule for this. So I'm asking a question and look, it gives you the whole thing. Year 1, year 2, year 3, and you can go on and it'll give you all the way to the end. Guys, you can make custom charts for your sellers if you need to get help with this and that. Now, let's do this. You guys we're always telling you to focus in on the population and get the best price possible. So this is where the power of AI comes in. So I'm going to get out of Florida because you all think I'm just doing my market here. Let's do Alabama. A lot of the questions you guys are asking about your market, you can now like do a real-time search and get real information. So right here. So we basically ask what areas are the cheapest to buy in Alabama with a population over 100,000. If you guys are searching for virtual markets, I'm giving you a roadmap. Look at this. Dothan, median price 135,000. I got to tell you guys, Alabama is wonderful. I believe there's no state income tax unless it's changed. It doesn't really snow. It snows a tiny, tiny bit. It's nice and sunny, warm weather, and it is a favorable place people are moving to because number one, it's affordable. They like the taxes and they like the weather. It doesn't take rocket scientists to figure out what places to find. Guys, Florida used to be this place 2-3 years ago. And now people are starting to see Florida filling up and they're pushing back up. So it's like the plumbing's backing up, and like Alabama, the Carolinas, all these places are starting to really become attractive. I could go on and on this stuff all day long. I promise you I'm going to do the lives on here. So guys, this tool is called bard.com. It's powered by Google. In the top of the comment section, somewhere there under my name, you can do it. It's 100% free. It connects you with the internet. There is no delay. It's not like ChatGPT, and it's free. They might ask you to do a waiting list. Usually it takes about 15, 20 minutes just to let you know what their little hitch is. I've had it take as long as 4 days. That's as long as it takes. So I'm showing you how to use something other than ChatGPT. And as me and Zach progress in wholesaling with AI, we're going to keep updating you on the tools and everything you can do with that. So let me try this. So what I like about any AI is you can continue to keep asking quality questions. So it's like getting a cheat sheet from the teacher themselves. So right there's your chart. I mean, I can't make it any easier for you. It's absolutely insane. You can do pivot tables. You can do spreadsheets. You could do pie graphs. You could do anything. But this is just one state, guys. You can go research. So my suggestion is go over to freewholesaling.com, try to find the areas that you're looking for, especially if you're looking to do virtual wholesaling, and start asking these questions and get granular specific in your questions as you keep asking it. This is a way to make it work. I wanted to show you this one. We talk about doing rehabs, which I told you in the title here. Now I'm going to be a little bit more specific. So let's see. Let's do Indianapolis, guys. And what I'm telling you is you go back and watch this one. You can copy what I'm doing and you can just play around with it because this is the beauty of it. So here's what I'm going to do. Property. So what we're going to do is I like to get a specific Indian. So the best way to get pricing on anything, home price or anything, going to be by zip codes. So I'm just picking a random zip code here for Indianapolis because I only have so much time. 46107 is the winner. I probably can't spell it. Indian. Nope. Of course I can't spell it. Hold on. See, this is AI and it's best for us. Indianapolis zip code. What was that zip code I was saying here? 46107. 46107. 1500. Oh, what would be the cost of a new roof, kitchen updating, new hardware flooring for Indianapolis zip code 46107 based on the square footage? Now, if you're doing this virtually, it's a good starting point. Is this going to be completely accurate? No, but it'll give you some generalizations and you kind of have to adjust it from there. But it's a good starting point, especially for roofs. If I just want to do a specific roof, so it's going to tell you the roof on this between 6 and 10,000, kitchen 10 and 20, hardwood's between 3 and 5. Now, they're telling you it's anywhere from 19 to 35K. Listen, we all can make assumptions on that. You know how houses are. They're very specific. But you can figure out now general painting cost, inside, outside. So what is the cost to paint exterior for this property? Now, it might not be able to simulate it because I'm using the word property now, and you've got to understand how AI talks with language on it. So on the outside, they're telling me between 2 and 6 grand. Now, you know, 6 grand's excessive. I would say in Indianapolis is probably closer to 2,000, maybe 2,500, depending on if it's on a first floor. 6 grand would maybe if it's 2 floors and like a custom paint job, but that's not completely accurate when you do that. So, Let's see what else I have on here. So we can also ask specifically about real estate markets. Let me pick another market here. Let's see what you guys got. Let's do South. Well, let's see here. I got to get everybody in order. I did Miami. There is a state income tax, Venus says, in Alabama. Well, it's still 135K. It's still a good deal. You got plenty of money to pay your state income tax. So let's do the state of Virginia. What is the state market statistics for Virginia in the last 6 months? And remember, your first question is usually not the best one. It's the follow-up questions that really give you the best data on this. So this just gives me a quick snapshot, and it'll tell you the average price points. They're up 10.3, the number of homes sold, which is down. So we notice a trend in most of the markets. Sales are down, but prices are up. Rentals are up, and supply is still low. And you're seeing this across the board in the country. There are pockets where they're having issues, but for the most part, everything I'm seeing across the board is like this. But here's the problem, guys. A lot of this information is lagging. It can be as much as 3 to 4 months. So the idea is AI gets smarter and we get better as wholesalers. We can cut that 3 months down to 2 months and then maybe down to like 40 or 45 days. You're never going to get it less because every company, including my company, when I report the books, is you need 30 days to close the books, and then you need at least 7 to 10 days to process it. Now, if you have an in-house person, but most of us have off-site bookkeeping, and then this is how companies work. Now, the realtors don't do us a lot of favors when they do this stuff, and you've got to understand that this is how AI works. Why am I showing you this, guys? Because if you don't figure out AI now, you're going to get lost in the shuffle. I think AI is going to be critical in everything we do because we're going to get much faster data. It's going to be much easier to get. And where do I see this all going? I would only trust the biggest source to get the data. I like Bard. I like Chat GPT. There's like a host of, there is a whole slew of them coming out. But here's the problem is the latest wave of coaches and gurus want to tell you how to use all this AI. If you pay them, they'll show you how to do it. Guys, they don't know any more than you do. You've got to be crazy to pay someone to consult AI for wholesaling because it's completely untested. And it's whatever you pay them, it'll be dead in 30 days. So do not buy someone's system based on an AI or like a chat bot. And by the way, the one thing that's going to get annihilated in AI is going to be people's apps. Apps are going to get destroyed. So from a guy who's developed an app, they're very, very expensive. I paid over 65 grand to develop one simple app. This was a long time ago. Not long time ago, but long enough. And they cost a lot of money. Most apps are pretty much going to be wiped off the face of the earth, meaning AI is going to make it so much more flow, so much quicker. And I'm just telling you, when you look at your apps, you've got to understand how AI is going to affect it. So when you're signing up, something like, okay, is this going to stay or is it going to go? And anything that seems like super flashy and like really, oh my God, it seems so cool. Don't buy it because that's the stuff that gets you killed in wholesaling. If you get the shiny object syndrome, you're going to get killed. Remember, AI just helps you get to the customer faster and gives answers faster. And it will eliminate some of your off staffing like VAs and stuff like that. And you'll get more real-time information. What it won't do is that final conversation with the seller, having that hard talk, going for no and negotiating with them. Somebody tried to send me, I got it the other day. It was through social media and basically said, with our program, which by the way, it was over $5,000 because you had to do a phone interview. They have an AI that will find the properties for you, ready for this, and negotiate the whole thing for you. You don't have to do anything. Just go to the beach, sip your margaritas. Your whole business is done. Guys, wake up to what's going on in the world. It's absolutely ridiculous with that stuff. So this is my thing on AI. This is bard.com. Just go there. There's a waiting list. You'll get in like 15 minutes. I don't guarantee it, but most likely, and it's free. And start going through and asking the questions like I'm asking, because I could sit here and like do this stuff all day, but I'd rather just be able to talk with you guys direct. So if you want to come on a live and ask a specific question, we can do it together, but you don't need me to do all this stuff. If you want to figure out the best route or the best locations to put up bandit signs, find the busiest streets that has some traffic where you can put signs up and figure it out. If you want to figure out how to go over a specific objection with a seller, I would go to freewholesaling.com first. but you can now do research and collect. Guys, there's only 6 objections you're ever going to get on a wholesale deal. I'll tell them to you, or you can use AI and help assimilate the information alone. I did not invent the objections, and I did not invent on how to overcome the objections. I've just got more experience than most people. I love when people claim they figured everything out and they're the sole founder of it. Well, I guess they've been on, I guess they were here when Adam and Eve got like invented, because that's the only way you could take credit for it. We all pass stuff down. The idea is we make it better for each generation, just like your parents did, hopefully for you. And if not, you make it better for your kids. And that's how it needs to work.